Alrighty, so today we are continuing our series of consumer arithmetics, and today we're going to look specifically at profit. In the last video, we would have identified and defined some of the key terms that we'll be looking at in this series. Please look at that video so that you'll be aware of the definition of the various concepts. Today, what is it that we're going to do? Today we are going to look at how to calculate the profit, the loss, sorry, not loss, profit, the cost price, and the selling price. Let's start with the formula that we need to know. This is the golden formula for the profit. Whenever we're calculating the profit, all we need to know is that the profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. Remember, in the previous video, we defined profit and we defined cost price. We did not, however, define selling price. So if we need to know, if we need a working definition for selling price, we could see the selling price as that sum of money that whoever is selling an item attached to the item. So in the previous video, I emphasized that of a pencil, and I said that that pencil costs $1. So supposing I buy that pencil for $1, but now I'm getting ready to sell it, to give it to somebody, get rid of it. Whatever price I attach to that pencil, whether it is higher or lower, that will be known as the selling price. The price that I attach, I as a consumer, the price that I attach to the item that I'm selling is known as the selling price. Of course, in maths, you will not see it written out like this. In maths, you will see it like this. So you will see profit, P, is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. And this is very easy to work out as long as they give us the selling price and the cost price. So if I know that the selling price is $1 and I know that the cost price was 50 cents, I could calculate my profit. However, what if I ask you to calculate the selling price or the cost price of an item given the other two? Let's play around with the formula a little. So with this formula, you can see that if I want to get the selling price and the cost price, it is all possible using algebra. To this video, right on top there at the I will label the previous videos or the video in algebra where I would have shown you how to transpose, how to perform transposition towards making the subject of the formula. And this is all we're doing here. So if I want to find what is the selling price, for example, granted that I will be given the profit and the cost price, all I need to do is make the selling price the subject of the formula. How do I do that? Simple. I make SP the subject. And by subject again, I repeat, the SP has to stand alone, be positive, and in the numerator. When I send the CP on the other side, I will now end up with P plus CP is equal to SP, and that is the selling price. So if I have to calculate my selling price, all I need to do is add my profit with my cost price, and that will give me the selling price. So now I have a formula for profit. I have a formula for selling price. I'm missing one. I'm missing the cost price. So how do I find the cost price? Simple. I'm working with this same second formula that I just derived here, this formula here. If I want to find the cost price, all I need to do again is make the cost price here the subject of the formula. How do I do that? In this case, now I get rid of my P. So I send my P to the other side. As a result, now my cost price will stay for itself. So now I have the cost price, CP, is equal now to the selling price minus the profit. Remember, this P here is positive. When I send it on the other side, it will become negative. And just like this, we have three formulas that we can use. Oftentimes, I know that students tend to cram these formulas, but I don't know. If you like cramming, you could go ahead and cram. I will prefer to just know one formula. So I just memorize profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. And with this formula, I could perform some algebra and I could easily find out the formula for the cost price or the formula for the selling price. You could do that too if you understand the concept, or if you want to be old school and memorize each one in isolation, you're free to do that. It's a free world, it's your choice. But it's better, I think it's better when you could derive it, when you know how to derive it from one. So here you see, I had profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. I want to know the selling price, I get rid of this cost price here. I transpose it to the other side. Remember the rules. If it's negative, when you bring it over, it becomes positive. But again, I would not play too much on that. We're not doing algebra here. We did that in a previous video. You feel free to go back and look at it. Good. Let's look at some questions now. Let's look at some examples. Generally, when we asking to find a profit, selling price, or cost price, even for CXC, I see it like this. Usually, they either give you a table, or if they don't give you a table, they could present to you a word problem. And when they present you with a word problem, it's the same thing. Of course, you just have to decipher what is given from what is not given, or what is it that they're asking you to find versus what they don't ask you. In a tabular form, it's very easy to see because all the information is given. And as I emphasized when we were doing algebra, remember, to find the unknown, they must present you with certain things that is known. So let's start with the first one. And again, I'll just write the general formula up here. So we have profit is equal to, and this is just a working formula, the selling price minus the cost price. With this formula, I could find the other formulas. Of course, if you want, as I said, you could cram them. So for the first one, they want us to find out what's the profit. And here they gave us the selling price and they gave us the cost price. So to find out what was my profit, I just plug in the given values into my equation up here. So that would give me now my profit here would be equal to the selling price, which is $30. Remember, your units is very important. So $30 minus, I'm using the formula, the cost price, which is $20. Easy does it. And from here, we just perform some basic arithmetic. And if we do our maths here, this is no rocket science, and I'm using simple numbers because we only grasping the concept. Be careful, however, when you do this for exams, they wouldn't give you simple numbers like that. Sometimes they throw in decimals and whatnot, right? But it's all about understanding the concept here. So here, of course, our answer would be $10. And these numbers are simple enough, even without the formula, you will be able to work it out. Or using reasoning. Sometimes reasoning could help us here too. So here my profit is $10 if the selling price was $30 and the cost price was $20. Moving on to the second one. In the second one now, they gave us the profit and they gave us the cost price. And guess what? They want us to find the selling price. And again, just doing a little algebra and mixing in and shuffling in, remember that the selling price from the previous slide, we know that the selling price is actually equal to the profit plus the cost price. And I am not guessing here. Even right now as I'm telling you this, I'm doing my little algebra with this formula here. I just make the SP the subject of the formula, and to do that I just have to send the CP on the other side. So this is how I calculate my selling price. And of course, to calculate the selling price, we need the profit and the cost price, and we are given those two. So they told us that the profit was 50, so I just plug in my values. So selling price is 50. Oh my, look at that 5. Anyways, bear with me. So we know that that is 50. Let me write this over. This doesn't look too nice. Right. So we know that our selling price is $50. Sorry, our profit, according to the table here, it's right here. Our profit is $50 and our cost price, so plus our cost price, according to the table there, is $60. So this is not make-up values. I'm working with what is given. So our cost price there is $60. And at the end of the day, when we do our maths here, 50 plus 60, that's supposed to give us $110. So what is my selling price here? My selling price here is $110. And that is the selling price. And the last question, we ain't sticking. Allow me to erase this. So for the last question, now they want us to find out what is the cost price. And for the cost price, remember, from the selling price formula, it's easy to get the cost price. We just have to get rid of the P over here. So I'll just write it over here. So my cost price, CP, will be equal to my selling price, just working with the formula, selling price minus my profit. If I do that, I will get what is the cost price. And again, of course, to use this, they have to give us the selling price and the profit, which we have here. So what is the selling price? The selling price was $80. So we have $80 there as a selling price minus the profit, and in this case, they gave us the profit to be $40. So our profit there is $40. So what is the selling price when the selling price, what is the cost price when the selling price was 80 and the profit was 40? My selling price would have been, my cost price, sorry, would have been $40. That is 80 minus 40. So 80 minus 40 would give me a cost price of $40. And it's as simple as these people, we can calculate profits. So remember, it's either they present the information in a table or they can present the information in a word problem. Maybe in time to come, you could comment, you could put it in the comment section below. If you want to see how this is operated with word problem, same thing. You just have to read, decipher the information, and then work out your maths. So this will be the ending of today's video. Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, like it, share it, subscribe, so that whenever the next video come up, you will be the first person to be notified. Also, the next video will continue this series with looking at loss, and loss is very similar to profit. Believe me, if you understand profit, you will pick up loss very easy. It's the same concept, it's just a different formula, and the whole idea is the same. So with that said, you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. God bless. Take care. Later.